We received a shocking and distressing report. In a remote village, a car arrived and, without any compassion, abandoned a poor dog to its fate. The animal was left on the road, unable to move, in such a weakened state that its survival seemed uncertain. The situation was horrific. The flesh of its right leg had been completely devoured, leaving the tibia exposed and full of maggots, which infested and consumed what was left of its skin. Its right eye was completely compromised, probably ruptured long ago, and its head showed deep marks from an elastic band that had cruelly bound it for a long time. When it was rescued, the situation was even worse. By the morning, new maggots, larger and more aggressive, had invaded its fragile body. The gravity of the situation required immediate medical intervention. The leg would require urgent surgery, and the dog's general health condition was critical. His hemoglobin level was an alarming 14, when the normal level is above 50. The infections in his body were out of control, his kidney levels were dangerously high, and his body temperature was low, a sign of impending shock and a fading consciousness. Action was needed quickly. The first step was an emergency blood transfusion to stabilize his body, since the dog, who was named Gigeum, weighed only 1.8 kilograms, an extremely low weight for his age and size. In addition, he was severely malnourished and suffered from systemic inflammation, including severe anemia. The situation was so serious that his survival was far from guaranteed. But Gigeum, despite all the adversities, demonstrated impressive strength. He had also tested positive for heartworm disease, a serious disease that affected his heart and lungs. Even so, the priority was to stabilize him and perform the most urgent surgeries. And so, after much struggle, Gigeum underwent emergency surgery. His right hind leg was amputated, and his already damaged right eye was removed. The medical team did an exceptional job of removing all the maggots that were eating away at his flesh, and for the first time in a long time, Gigeum was free from immediate pain. Gigeum's recovery, although slow, began to show signs of progress. The pain from his injured leg and eye had disappeared, and he was now beginning to adapt to his new life. We knew it would be a long road, but we were determined to ensure that he received the best possible care. And more than that, our goal was to find him a loving home where he could spend the rest of his life as a beloved member of the family, receiving the love and attention he had never received before. In the days that followed, Gigeum faced more challenges. He required a second blood transfusion, and each day he fought to survive. But the willpower of this little being was impressive. His eyes, once dull with pain, now shone with a vitality that filled us with hope. He began to eat better, gaining a little weight and showing that, despite all the adversity, he was willing to fight for his life. Finally, Gigeum was discharged and went home with his new adoptive family. The journey to recovery was far from over, but he had already overcome the greatest obstacles. Gigeum was a brave dog who demonstrated an enormous capacity for resilience. When he arrived at his new home, he walked diligently through the rooms, exploring every corner, but there was something that caught our attention. He never seemed to feel completely comfortable. Gigeum would not rest anywhere and only wanted to be held, as if he desperately needed human contact to feel safe. In the first few days, he spent all his time being carried around. Each time he was held, his little body relaxed completely, as if, at that moment, he was at peace. But this also revealed the sadness that his new mother felt when she realized how much he had suffered. Little by little, however, Gigeum began to rest on his own, something that seemed impossible at first. Seeing this small victory was heartwarming. It was proof that he was healing not only physically but also emotionally. Gigi has also become famous for his affection. He became a dog known for giving lots of kisses, always showing his affection. His fight for life was long and difficult, and although he was still undergoing treatment, mainly for heartworms, everyone was confident that he would overcome this last battle. Gigeum had overcome much greater challenges. Gigi's third surgery, to remove the heartworm, was a success. He bravely went through all the stages of treatment, and although his story began with so much suffering, it ended much happier. After his last surgeries, including pyometra and heartworm treatment, Jaegeum finally found the peace and joy he deserved. He was now home, surrounded by a loving family who gave him all the affection he had ever wanted. Jaegeum is a symbol of hope and resilience. Despite all the suffering he faced, he never lost his sweetness. Today, he lives as a beloved member of his new family, enjoying a life full of love and care. Jaegeum's story reminds us of the power of compassion and the importance of never giving up, even when all seems lost. Thank you to everyone who supported Jaegeum on his journey. His fight continues to be an inspiration to us all, and he showed us that with love and determination, we can overcome even the greatest challenges. Let's keep believing and fighting just like he did.